Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Naya Sim. And thank you all so much for all the love and support. Hope you all are doing great. And my heart goes out to all the people affected by Hurricane Helene. I hope you all recover and I hope that you all, I mean, pull through this period because it's really a very tough period. Stay strong. And while I was, trying to check some certain things out, I saw a video where, Joe Biden and some governors of the states where this happened are working hand in hand to make sure that the people affected are being, taken care of and all that. So only for me to find out that Donald Trump also opened a GoFundMe for the people. Like the GoFundMe says, support Hurricane Helene victims, like Trump authorized. And their target was to hit $1 million, but now they already hit 1.6 something $1 million. And to my greatest surprise, it looks like this money is going to his campaign instead of being given to people that are going through a hard time, right? And I am going to say allegedly. You know why I'm saying that. And I am going to ask this: why did he hold a press conference to lie about what is going on? And why is he not distributing or making sure that the money that was raised is being given to people in need? Let's get into
Just when you think they can't get any lower, they prove just how much lower they can go. So here in Georgia on yesterday, Donald Trump took advantage of vulnerable people who are trying to piece their lives back together after Hurricane Helene. Donald Trump took the opportunity to exploit one of the hardest hit areas in Georgia. He did a press conference where he told this lie. Don't worry, I'm not playing the whole conference. Just this lie.
Ideally with the governor, that governor needs to, he's been trying to get them, and I'm sure they're going to come through, but he's been calling the president, hasn't been able to get him.
The governor that he's speaking of in the midst of his lie is my low-down governor, Brian Kemp. Donald Trump is holding a press conference for an opportunity to exploit this tragedy to his advantage, to further lies to try to make the Biden administration look bad. The lie he's trying to tell is that Governor Brian Kemp has been trying to reach President Biden and he has been unable to. Meanwhile, Brian Kemp is saying this during his press conference.
The president just called me yesterday afternoon. I missed him and called him right back. And he just said, hey, what do you need? And I told him, we got what we need. We'll work through the federal process. He offered that if there's other things we need, just to call him directly, which I...
This is the man that they want to vote into office for President of the United States. A man that takes advantage or uses a tragedy for his own benefit. And guess what? It doesn't stop there. This is a GoFundMe put together by the Trump campaign. Support Hurricane Helene victims. Trump authorized. They wanted $1 million. They're currently at 1.6. Please tell me what Donald Trump is going to do with this money. This is giving, remember that GoFundMe that Steve Bannon put together, Build the Wall, and they raised all of that money? This is giving those same vibes. This is a Trump GoFundMe. He's raising money for Hurricane Helene victims. I would like for you to comment, how much money do you think Helene victims will get? Here's the blurb. President Donald J. Trump has launched this GoFundMe campaign as an official response for MAGA supporters to offer their financial assistance to their fellow Americans impacted by Hurricane Helene. With so many across the southeastern U.S. facing challenges after the storm, President Trump is on the ground in communities to see the aftermath firsthand. All donations will be directed to help those most affected by Hurricane Helene. Any level of generosity will go a long way for your fellow Americans who are suffering. You notice they aren't raising these funds and saying that they're going to donate them to the American Red Cross or the United Way so that those legitimate organizations can see to the people in need getting these funds. No. This is going directly to Donald Trump. Just when you think they can't go any lower, they always prove just how much lower they can go.
You know, one of the biggest things I dislike about the former President Trump, it's not even how much he lies to the American people, but it's how much he exploits the most vulnerable populations with his lies. He's now using these natural disasters to politicize and to sow discord and misinformation and disinformation deliberately so he can gain standing with the American people through his lies. And this is why I say today that if you support Trump and you're MAGA, we cannot be friends, because it's not just a political issue. It's a literal good and evil. It's a morality issue, because this man does not care about anybody but himself. And I'm going to show you a clip that really has my blood boiling.
The governor's doing a very good job. He's having a hard time getting the president on the phone. I guess they're not being responsive. The federal government is not being responsive. But they're having a very hard time getting the president.
President Trump is on national television telling the American people, telling the most vulnerable populations right now who have been destroyed by Hurricane Helene, lives lost, homes lost, everything lost. He's telling them that the federal government and Biden have done absolutely nothing, when in reality, that is not the truth. Let's hear what Governor Kemp had to say about that, who happens to be a Republican governor in the state of Georgia.
The president just called me yesterday afternoon. I missed him and called him right back. And he just said, hey, what do you need? And I told him, we got what we need. We'll work through the federal process. He offered that if there's other things we need, just to call him directly, which I appreciate.
So clearly, Trump is lying for political gain, and he's exploiting vulnerable populations and issues like he always does, like immigrants, like black people, like the border, like the LGBTQIA community, like women. This man literally uses everything for political gain and selfish motives. Well, why does it make me so mad? It's because what he is doing is causing the American people to not trust our government, to think our government is malicious, to think our government deliberately is trying to hurt the American people. Has our government messed up over the years? Absolutely. But I happen to know a lot of people, representatives, congressmen, officials, county commissioners, from the local level all the way up to the state level to the federal level. And they are really good people who genuinely care. But when Trump tells these lies, this is what happens. Let me show you. When he tells us lies, you start getting posts like this, to where it's the government cares more about what's going on in Ukraine than here in our own country. And then more propaganda. Hurricane ravaged town raises Ukrainian flag so Biden and Kamala Harris will send help. And again, with a Trump 2024. This is exactly why Trump lies to the American people. He exploits vulnerable populations, the loss of life, the loss of homes, the loss of businesses, for his own political gain. And frankly, it's disgusting. And anybody else who supports this nonsense, you're a horrible human being. Period. The first thing I want to say is my condolences go out to all of the families who have been impacted by Hurricane Helene. The lives lost, the homes lost, the businesses lost. Lives absolutely pummeled and destroyed by this natural disaster. My condolences go out to these families. I know so many people, friends and loved ones, and followers on this app who have been impacted by this deadly storm. My heart breaks for them. With all this being said, what is so frustrating is seeing somebody like Donald Trump trying to capitalize on this with lies and propaganda. And I've shown in a previous video where his lies were being debunked, where he said that Biden and the federal government have done nothing to help, when Governor Kemp, who is a Republican, clearly said that Biden called him and said that whatever he needs, he will ensure that the federal government gets to the people who have been devastated by this storm. And because of Trump's lies, the most vulnerable populations get exploited. But let us not forget that Hurricane Trump is the worst disaster this country has ever seen. U.S. farmers lost billions to Trump, with over 500 American farmers going bankrupt under his watch. Our country saw an increase in national debt like never before under Trump's watch, with nearly $8 trillion in debt, the most by any U.S. president. But most importantly, over 400,000 lives lost because of Trump's pandemic response. Make no mistake about it, Hurricane Trump is the worst natural disaster this country has ever seen. Vote accordingly
So
in
this
November.
is all I got from this video, and I really don't know why this is happening, because it's really a very terrible situation for so many people, especially in Georgia and Florida. I hope I'm correct, right? And I do not think this is a good period for somebody to exploit, somebody with something like that, or look for a way to set up a GoFundMe and probably not give it to the people that need it more or most. Now, my heart goes to everybody who has been impacted by this hurricane, and I really hope that I don't know how, but I seriously and I hope that you recover from it, and I hope you all are okay. I actually saw videos of some people who were also impacted, right? And some lost connections, some houses flooded. It's just so many stories, and there are some that I read, not so good stories, right? And my heart goes out to you all. I hope you stay strong, and I really do hope that you survive, all the, I think this is just a phase, and I hope you are strong enough to also, survive it. And I don't know how to help or what we can do and all of that, because I feel like some people also in our community might at the same time be affected also. But yeah, I really do not understand why this is happening. Somebody hijacking, starting a GoFundMe that is for $1 million, if I am not mistaken, and the money has surpassed the $1 million, almost 1.6, and you have not done anything with the money. I don't know if the money is going straight to his campaign, but that is the purpose of opening that GoFundMe, was not for campaign, right? It was open for the people that had a disaster problem, right? So I really don't know why the money is still being withheld. And the fact that he is also lying about it is just really something that I do not understand. But yeah, we all can already see from the videos that showed. And why would somebody, this is like the worst opportunity that somebody, I don't know, but it's really not a good thing that somebody decided to use this opportunity to rub people off, said that I am trying to get this money to help people in need, right? And eventually the money is coming and you are not doing anything. Or maybe he is still going to give the money to them. I have no clue. But man, you have already surpassed the target just cut the check for people that are like, so many people are absolutely homeless. When I say homeless, very, very much homeless. There are so many damages. I saw all that. I mean, people losing houses, homes, and also people lost their family. There is one that I saw, a man that was in the same place with the fiancé or something, and I think flood swept the fiancé away, or I don't know what happened, but they have not been able to find the woman, but the man has bruises and everything all over, like he is absolutely in pain. So I think it's time. I don't know. I don't know. But why would somebody use this opportunity to rob people off? And I really do not want to believe that he is going to take the money. I also do not want to believe it because it is going to be the worst story ever that you set up a GoFundMe for people in need and you took the money from them. That is going to be the worst story ever. And I hope that is not the case. I hope in the end that the money is not used for a campaign. I hope the money is being used for the purpose. Really. See you all in my next video. Bye for now.